Sales tax, tip and markup. Talking about spending money today. Get your note packet open and ready. The learning target is I can solve problems involving sales tax, tip, and markup. If you don't have your note packet, you know you're doing this in your learning log. Write your title, write your learning target, and this video can be paused or rewinded at any time. Work at your own pace. All right, what is sales tax? Sales tax is an additional amount of money being charged on what is being bought. So you see a price tag when you buy something, but it's always going to cost a little bit more because of that sales tax. All right, for calculating sales tax, we're going to stick with what we know, and we're going to use proportions to help us do that. So here's what our proportion will look like. The part is the top left numerator, and that will always be your variable. That will always be your x. You can use whatever variable you want, but I'm going to use x. The denominator on the left is your whole, which is the price of the item. So the price that's on that tag, okay? The percent is the top right numerator, and that's the percent sales tax. So whatever extra is being charged. And then the 100 is always under percent because percent is out of 100. That's the bottom right denominator. So refer to that as your setup as we move through these examples, okay? The steps, follow them in the left column is what we're going to do. So first we're going to read our first situation. There's a hoodie. Everybody loves a hoodie, good hoodie, right? Hide in there, keep your little earbuds on, stuff tons of stuff in your pockets. They're great. There's a hoodie at Sports Authority for $42. Sales tax on the hoodie is 5 5/10%. What is the total cost of that hoodie with the sales tax? Okay, so what do we know? Well, we know the cost of the hoodie on that price tag is $42. So that's your whole. And then we also know the sales tax is 5 5/10%. So that goes where your percent goes. Okay. What are we looking for? We're looking for that total cost with the sales tax. So not just the price on the tag, but what else we have to pay because of that tax. So first, let's calculate that tax. Set up your proportion. Remember, the part is always your variable. Our whole is 42. Our sales tax percent is 5 5/10. You do not need to write the percent sign. And then 100 always goes in that bottom right denominator. All right, so we've set up our proportion. Now we're going to do that cross multiplication. Numerator times opposite denominator. 100 times x is equal to numerator times opposite denominator. 42 times 5 5/10. Right, now we do the multiplication. 100 times x is 100x. 42 times 5 5/10. You can do side math or you can get your calculator. I already have it done, 231. Now I'm going to divide by that coefficient of 100 to find my x, to find how much sales tax I'm actually paying. And this you don't need a calculator for. When you're dividing by 100, your decimal point moves 2 to the left. So my decimal is after the 1 right now. 2 to the left would put it after the 2. So $2.31 is my sales tax. That makes sense, okay? Your tax isn't going to be more than the price tag cost. And 5 5/10 is not a huge amount. So this is your tax. Now, we haven't answered the question. What's the total cost of the hoodie? So take the price tag, which is $42, annex your zeros because you're going to line up the tax underneath and you're going to add. Do this without a calculator, please. Practice that decimal math you worked so hard on in 6th grade. Put your decimal, 1, 3, 4, 4. So the total cost of the hoodie is $44.31. And you would just write a sentence. The hoodie cost $44.31 with tax. So if you brought $45 with you, you can buy that hoodie. All right, let's look at another example. This one's for tip. So what is tip? Well, tip is also an additional amount of money, but it's given for a service. Most commonly, you'll know tip when you go out to eat at a restaurant. Your parents will look at the bill and they'll add an extra amount on for the waiter or waitress that served you. Okay, so how do I calculate tip? It's the same as sales tax. We're going to use proportions. So here we go. Your part is still your variable. The whole is the price of the item. So how much was your bill? Percent, that is how much tip you should leave. And then 100 is always under that percent. When you're tipping, right now it is appropriate to tip 20% of whatever your bill is. 20%, okay? All right, so here we go. We had dinner at the Olive Garden. It was $35. Maybe only I had dinner. I don't know that my family of 4 could eat for that. You should, notice that's in all caps, you definitely should tip your server 20% of your bill. What is the total cost of dinner with your tip? All right, so let's identify what we have. $35, that is my whole. That's how much dinner cost. 20% is the tip that should be left. And we are looking for total cost of the dinner with tip. So we have to find how much the tip is and then add that on to our $35. All right, let's get our proportion set up here. Remember, the part is always the top left numerator. This time our whole is $35 for the dinner. And our percent tip is 20%. Now we're going to do the math. Numerator times opposite denominator. 100 times x is equal to numerator times opposite denominator. 35 times 20. All right, 100 times x is 100x. 35 times 20 is 700. 35 times 2 is 70 and add a 0. Divide by that coefficient of 100. So we get 1x equals, powers of 10, you gotta love them, 7. Now that's actually $7. So make it look like money. This is your tip. Okay. Now to find the total cost, we take the price on our bill, which is $35, and we're going to add $7. Annex those zeros, make it look like money. Money goes to the hundredths place. So what I'm actually going to have to pay is $42, right? So my dinner with tip is $42. Don't skimp on the writing here, okay? Make it clear. This is what it costs, and this is what I'm paying for. All right, we got one more example, the markup. This one you might not have heard of before, but this is how stores keep themselves in business. So markup is when a store sells items for more than it pays for the items. So the store gets a bulk set of whatever it is, and then they'll mark that price up so they can make money off of what they bought it for. All right, we're still going to use the proportions. The part will be your variable. The price of the item will still be your whole. The percent will be your percent markup, what that store is charging. And then 100 goes under that percent. All right. There is a $56 GPS system at Best Buy. Best Buy's markup on items is 25%. What is the selling price of the GPS? Okay, so what do we know? We know the whole. The price tag on this thing is $56. We know the markup, and that's the percent. That's your markup. That goes in your percent. And then what we're looking for is the selling price. So selling price means the cost plus that markup. All right, well, let's figure out our markup first. Remember, that's always going to be your variable. The cost of the GPS is $56. The percent markup is 25, and that's always going to be 100 down there. Do your math. Numerator times opposite denominator, 100 times x, is equal to numerator times opposite denominator, 56 times 25. This is 100x. 56 times 25, I'm going to cheat and look, is 1,400. Divide by that coefficient of 100. And so we get our markup is $14. Make it look like money. Okay. So the markup that Best Buy is using is $14 on this GPS. They bought the GPS for $56. They're charging us an additional $14. So we are going to have to pay $70. $70 would be on that price tag. There's still going to be sales tax on that, right? So the selling price for the GPS is 70 buckaroos. Now you're starting to get a taste of how money works, right? You understand why your parents say it doesn't grow on trees. Okay, bring these notes and let's put this to practice.